guys, how's it going? This is Tim, bringing you guys daily deals with Tim, where I talk about the latest news and deals on cryptocurrency, all for you guys. And before I begin, this is my personal opinion and not financial advice. Now today, I want to share with you guys some of my opinions on what to watch out for in cryptocurrency on January. Now, there is a similar pattern that the cryptocurrency goes through, especially in the market cap. In the earlier January, there tends to be a dip, as we see in each year, and after the dip, on a couple of the years, we kind of continue to go down in the bear market, while in other years, we have an exuberance of, after the dip, going right back up to where we left off. And I believe that is around 20K for this year. So it's heading towards the end of January in 2018. Now, if you guys see the chart for Bitcoin, it's kind of making a triangular shape from the top and the lows. But looking at this right now, at least for me, I cannot determine whether this will continue in a bear market or if it will break the bear market trend and rise upwards. But this two scenarios that could happen for Bitcoin, and if this happens for Bitcoin, this might either directly or indirectly affect all other cryptocurrencies. But because the cryptocurrencies inherit their value from Bitcoin, whatever Bitcoin does affects them. But so let me tell you guys the scenarios. So scenario one is that we'll continue this trend downwards. Because if you guys see here, went all the way up to almost 20K, dipped, had exuberance again, and then dipped. Now we might hit maybe like 15K and dip to 10K back. And then from 10K to maybe 13K and then to maybe 8,000. Now if that happens, I think we are going towards a bear market. I don't know what's the possibility of it, but looking at the long-term chart, so this is the 1-year chart, it's definitely possible. Simply by looking at the chart and looking at previous charts from, I believe, from 2013 to 2015, we had a long-term bear market. However, that was back when a lot of people didn't know about cryptocurrency. But now we have so many people knowing about it. Literally everyone knows, or at least heard of Bitcoin. And there are people popping up left and right trying to invest into Bitcoin. But also, during this run-up from the Thanksgiving and Christmas period, a lot of people got burnt. Because if they invested around 16,000 to around 19,000, they're basically down about, probably down about 20-30%. At the worst, maybe 40-50% when the dip really hit a couple days back. But that said, I think regarding or considering the situation that we're in and looking at the big picture, I think there is a lot more demand in the market than supply. And when there is a lot of demand and not enough supply, because Bitcoin is limited in that there's going to be less and less Bitcoin mined throughout the years. I believe almost 80% of Bitcoin is mined already. So with that limited supply and only 21 million, and that might be even decreased because so many people lost Bitcoin in the early period of time, the supply is getting smaller and smaller while demand is growing and growing. And with that kind of stance, I think we are more likely to have a bull market rather than a downward bear market. So that is the second scenario, that we're going to have a bull market from here on. Because I think 10K I believe on some exchanges we went all the way to 9K. So from 20K to let's say around 10K, that's a 50% drop. And if you guys have been in the space or know a little bit about Bitcoin's price, it usually drops 30% to 40% and it heads back up. But here we had almost 50% drop. And I think that is quite enough for a lot of people. At least I'm looking at the big picture here, that following the patterns, because if you guys see over here, all these little dips, when you're actually experiencing it, it looks like this. So small dips over here, when I was going through this, it looked like here, way worse. And same with over here. I believe this was when Bcash was going through the possible flippening. Man, that was pretty crazy. I didn't know I didn't know some groups can pump Bcash that much. But anyways, these little small dips look like this. So when the price goes above 20K, possibly hit 40K or 50K, this big drop over here will look like these little drops. So you got to look at the big picture for Bitcoin. So what I'm thinking of, or what I'm most likely having a conclusion, is that we're heading towards a bull market, because I think we already had that big drop of around to 10K or to 9,000, and we're heading up from here on out. Now, looking at the past experiences on the patterns of the market, I believe we will have probably a stagnation around 15 to 16, and probably in the month of January we'll be below 20K, I think. Because looking at the charts from previous times, it usually stagnates right below the previous high. So the previous high was at 20K. So we'll stagnate a bit before that, but once we break that 20K, I think that's going to spark a lot of fire behind the market. From 20K to 30K, I think will be a lot faster from right now to 20K. And then from 30 to 40K, even faster. And we're going to repeat this all over again. Just like how we went from maybe around 7,000 to 20K, we're going to go from 10K to whatever past 20K for sure, in my opinion. But so what does this tell you? Well, let me tell you what I am doing. Because Bitcoin is most likely headed for a bull run, I'm going to get more Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin goes for a bull run, a lot of the altcoins, pretty much every altcoin, drops down in BTC value. So the logical reasoning is that you buy Bitcoin at low price, wait for Bitcoin to go up, and then if you like certain altcoins, when Bitcoin reaches the highest point, then you could put your Bitcoin into these altcoins because their BTC ratio have dropped significantly. Now, this is one of the strategies that I use. Well, my main strategy is just hodling, but this is what I'm trying to use. I think logically it makes sense. So what I'm doing is accumulating more Bitcoin around this time by dollar cost averaging through certain periods. But that said, that is my opinion on the market and what I think you guys should watch out for in January of 2018. And this might possibly be helpful next year and the year after that, because Bitcoin tends to repeat a lot of the patterns. But I think well, I can't really say for sure, but one time there will be a bear market, and that might be a prolonged bear market. Or maybe we won't have a bear market at all. because there's so much attention and media on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency that we might have already gone past the early phases. Now we're on to the mainstream phase where people know about it, but they're hesitant in investing. So that is simply my opinion. It's not a financial advice, so you guys make your own decisions. But what I'm going to do is accumulate more Bitcoin around these points before it goes past 20K. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you guys like this video, if you guys like this kind of content, like this video, comment below, and smash the subscribe button. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, check out the links below, and I'll really appreciate that. And as always, I'll bring you guys more deals on Daily Deals with Tim.